Good afternoon, dear students. Good morning, dear guests. This is today the presentation of Microsoft Student Ambassador Program. We have several guests in this meeting. So first of all, I'm going to just introduce our guests about our university. So we are Turin Polytechnic University in Tashkent, and it was established in 2009, jointly with Polytechnic of Torino in Italy. So far, as of 2022, we have more than 1,600 students, so more than 1,000 graduates, and have very good statistics about the employability of our students. And so far, we have done 122 projects, both commercially and scientifically. And we have the departments of mathematics, natural science, humanitarian economic science, control and computer engineering, civil engineering and architecture, mechanical and aerospace engineering. So in those departments, we have several undergraduate, graduate, and PhD programs: computer engineering, software, mechanical, civil, industrial, and management. So today, we are going to present with our guests to our students about Microsoft Student Ambassador Program. So the agenda of today's meeting is Ms. Tessa Wiedmann. She's going to present about the Imagine Cup and Ambassador Program in general. Then Ms. Carlotta Castelluccio, she's going to present also the Student Ambassador Program, types of collaborations, open source materials, and types of events. Then we have some ambassador voices like Jennifer and Kenji. Thank you for joining. And we have also local MVP from Microsoft. He's actually here. So he's Elbek Normuradov. So we can start, I think, with Ms. Tessa Wiedmann.
Hello, hi everyone. So I'm Carlotta. So I will give a brief introduction, and then I will let Tessa. I will let the floor to Tessa. So just a moment. I will share my screen and my face in a minute. So let's see. You should be able to see my my screen now. Let me also add my face here. Here we are. Can you see me?
Yes.
Perfect. So hi everyone. I'm Carlotta Castelluccio, and thank you very much for inviting us today. I'm so excited to welcome you all to this event and to meet you all, even if in a hybrid mode. But still, it's very exciting for us. So just a brief introduction about myself, and then I will let Tessa say hi as well. I'm Carlotta Castelluccio. I'm a Microsoft Cloud Developer Advocate. I'm based in Italy, and I'm focused on artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies. And I advocate for students like you and for educators. And fun fact, I was a student at Politecnico di Torino in Italy as well. So it's one more reason to be excited to be here today. Tessa, do you want to say hi? I cannot put her camera on, but you will see her in a minute.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really excited to be here with all of you. My name is Tessa Wiedmann. I am a program manager here at Microsoft, and I help run the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador Program and also the Imagine Cup program that I'll be talking about. I am from the US, but I am based in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. And fun fact about me is that I was actually a student ambassador myself when I was in university. I was also a Microsoft intern. So before this, I was a software engineer for 3 years and have recently switched to help run student programs. And I'm really excited to tell you more about them.
Great. Thank you, Tessa. So just before going into the starting to actually talk you about the program, etc. I just wanted to share with you the code of conduct, the community guidelines we share for every Microsoft event with students. So please be respectful and inclusive throughout the event, lead with empathy, be friendly, open and welcoming, and also be understanding of the differences. So as you heard, all of us is based in different parts of the globe. Tessa is in Amsterdam. I'm in Italy. We will have some guests from UK as well, and this is great. You are in Tashkent, so this is very exciting. So thanks for respecting the code of conduct throughout this event. And now that both Tessa and myself had like a few minutes to talk about us, I would encourage you to join this quick survey because we want to know something about you as well. So you can join using your mobile phone or your laptop. Just go to this website, so www.menti.com, and use this code 21168495, and I can also copy it in the chat. But we also have a handy QR code here to join. Oh, perfect. Tessa already did that. Thank you, Tessa. Perfect. Cool. So please join us in the quick survey because we have a few questions for you. We would like to know more about you. And the first question you would, yeah, perfect. Answers are already coming. So the first question you should be able to see is, how are you feeling today? So we have, hi, very good, empowered, great, awesome, hello. Very happy to hear your excitement here. We are excited as well. Beautiful, hola. Very good. I see a sun, I see a smile. Thank you so much. This is very, a great energy, absolutely. Cool, so thank you for answering. Sounds great. So let's go to the second question. You should be able to see the second question now. So what would you like to learn today? Again, it's just an open question. So we would like to know, what do you expect from this event? Maybe it's a tricky one. Yes, of course. So I imagine you expect to learn at least something today. Great. Software, Android development, some emoji here as well. Summer internship. Lots of answers coming. Thank you for joining. Software, internship programs, more information, how to get hired by Microsoft. This is a good one as well. .NET framework. So you're interested in .NET framework. Cool. Microsoft employees, about Microsoft. Sounds great. Cool. So let's go like more deeper in who are you. So we had the presentation from Axton about the different field of studies. I'm curious about how many of you are computer engineering and how many of you are in a different field of study. I'm seeing a lot of computer engineers here, which is great. Cool. We have one other answer. I'm curious what this other answer is. Cool. And other answers are coming as well. Thank you. Cool, cool. So I'm going to the next question now. So again, just to know more about you, are you enrolled in a bachelor's or master's degree, or you are a PhD maybe? And I see a few answers coming, a few bachelor's degree, which is great. Cool. Lots of you are from bachelor's degree. Great, great to know. Thank you for answering. Oh, we have a one master as well. Cool. Cool. So let me go to the new question. So how much do you know about Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador Program? So we've told you that we are going to introduce you to this program, but maybe you already have heard about it or read about it on Microsoft social networks, Microsoft pages, or maybe you have a friend in the community who already shared his or her experience with you. So we have one of you who have a friends in the community, which is wonderful. Then we have a few other folks that heard or read about it, and a few other folk that don't know anything yet, which is also great. We are here on purpose, and we are excited that you're interested in learning more about the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador Program. We have someone who already applied to join as well. Great. Cool. Thank you for answering. And what about the Imaging Cup? So same question, but Imaging Cup competition. Do you know about it? Do you have heard about it? Or maybe do you have friends who took part in the competition? Cool. So lots of learnings today. Sounds great. Perfect. Thank you for joining the survey. Great. Let's go to the next one. Who would be interested in joining a Microsoft student community? A pair of folks already shared that they have already applied. What about, oh, we have lots of definitely yes coming, which is great. Thank you. Cool. This is great to hear. Wonderful. All of you, basically all of you, I'm loving it. Thank you. This is great. Thanks for sharing. Cool. And this was the end of our survey. So let me go back to the presentation. And then, yeah, Max John already introduced our agenda. Just to recall, I'm now giving the floor to Tessa, that we will introduce you to the Microsoft Student Program Overview. Some of you already shared their interest in joining the community, the Microsoft Student Learn Ambassador community, and I'm very excited about it. Then I will share some other information about opportunities for students, both ambassadors, but also students who are outside of the community, yet at least. And then you will hear directly from the voices of two students who are Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors, Jennifer and Kenji, and I will introduce them later. So now, Tessa, are you able to jump in and share your screen?
Yep, I'm gonna try. All right.
Sure.
Here we go.
And just for you to know, we will pause throughout the event for questions, so you have time to share with us some questions, both in the chat or for the people who are physically in the room. We will give you space for questions.
Yes, and for anyone that's watching virtually, feel free to use the Q&A feature in Teams. You can post questions there and we'll try our best to get them answered for you. Thanks for kicking everything off for us. So yeah, my name is Tessa and I'm going to talk about the Imagine Cup Student Developer Competition, and then I'm going to talk about the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador community. I'm going to start with Imagine Cup. All right. So Imagine Cup has actually been around for over 20 years, for 21 years now, and there have been over 2 million competitors that have participated in Imagine Cup. So it's I know a lot of you had said that you had never heard of it before, but it's actually been a really successful, really exciting competition that we've run year after year. And the idea of Imagine Cup is that it's a student developer competition. And so that means anyone that's a student at either a high school or any sort of higher ed university or institution, anything that supplies you a degree at the end of it, you get matched with other students. Either you find your team yourself, I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute, or you can connect with anyone around the world participating as well, and you create something and you help solve a problem in your own community. And you use technology to innovate for impact. So it's a really exciting competition. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about some other reasons you might want to participate. But the opportunity for students is, like I mentioned, there's ways for you to connect with students all over the world. And one of the ways that you can do that is by joining the Imagine Cup Discord. And I'll explain how you can register and how you can join all of this in a minute as well. But we have a Discord server where you can connect with not only other students around the world and share resources and ideas and find teammates, but you can also connect directly with Microsoft employees like me and like Carlotta and other people at Microsoft who are ready to help you build and find a solution for a problem that you want to work on. And we also involve a lot of industry experts and MVPs, the Microsoft Valuable Professionals. And so there's a lot of great opportunities to learn from a lot of people. And it's a really amazing opportunity to build something, to get some real world experience with some of the cloud technologies that Microsoft has. It's a really great way to get that hands-on experience and to put something on your resume that will make you stand out from your peers. And the idea is that you basically use Microsoft Azure technology somewhere in your project to help solve a problem. And the grand prize is $100,000 US, and the mentoring session with Satya Nadella, as well as in other years, we've had opportunities to connect with the Microsoft Founders Hub, which is a part of Microsoft that helps startups get off the ground. So the further you get into the competition, the more likely you'll have a chance to be automatically eligible for that program. So it's not only a project that you work on and help solve a problem with, but it's also an opportunity for you to make it something bigger. So we want to help you actually keep solving that problem at scale. So it's a really amazing opportunity. For this next slide is basically just a summary of what I just said, but the Imagine Cup competition really helps you not only build your skills, but also if you're interested in education technology, or if you're interested in healthcare, if you're interested in agriculture, anything you could be interested in, there is a problem that you can solve in some way with technology. We've had amazing student teams from all over the world design things like robotic hands and sensors for cows for farmers to help track them with like AI technology. We've had all sorts of amazing projects that have gone on to become real startups and real companies, and helped shape their communities and their world. And so I just wanted to say how you can actually register for Imagine Cup. So Imagine Cup is more of like a yearly competition. So right now we're at the end of our 2023 Imagine Cup competition, but registrations will start again this fall. So what that means for you for right now is you can always register at imaginecup.com, and you'll get all of the information about when you can actually register for this upcoming fall. And you can also join the Discord right away to stay updated and get announcements and all sorts of things. But for right now, you can just register, and if you have any projects that you've been thinking of, if you join any hackathons, if you have any open source projects you've been working on, anything like that, keep that in your mind so that in the fall you can start gathering a team and actually start building this project out more. So that's what I wanted to talk about for Imagine Cup. I don't see any questions in the chat, but if anyone has any questions about Imagine Cup, I'll take those at the end from in the room. But yeah, so that's it on Imagine Cup for me. And then I did want to also talk about the Student Ambassador Program. So I'm going to start doing that by showing you a short little video.
The Student Ambassador community is a global community of like-minded students that share a passion for technology and for having an impact in the world.
It's an amazing thing for people that both like social gatherings and in the same time they like tech communities.
It's Microsoft helping folks around our campus.
I wanted to improve my skills and I wanted to get connected with people that can help me do that.
Best benefit is the access to MS Learn and LinkedIn Learning as well.
You get an Azure subscription for tinkering around when you join the community and have completed your first milestone.
You also get to be mentored by Microsoft employees.
It's really a very wholesome experience where we're all just trying to help each other grow.
I saw that people were having a lot of fun, but in the same time they were learning a lot of stuff.
Everything that we have in the community is very inclusive and it welcomes everyone as they are.
This is a great place to learn new skills, to connect with people, to create community, to help others.
Students accomplish so much in this community. Not only do they build their own skills and their brand, but they create content, they run hackathons, they get mentorship, and they put that all on their resumes. And they get full-time jobs when they graduate. It's really amazing.
Anything good that's happening in my career probably started with this program.
Be sure to apply for it. You would definitely enjoy being a Microsoft Student Ambassador.
Awesome. I love that video. It makes me smile every time I watch it. So hopefully that came across well enough on your end, but if not, I can post the link to the video and you can watch it on your own time as well. But everything we just covered in the video, I'm going to talk about as well. So the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador Program is a community of over 3,000 students around the world. We're in over 100 countries. We speak over 50 different languages, and we are a community of students who are in higher education institutions and that are interested in technology and how I can help be a force for good and help change the world. So it's really, I know there are some people that said they weren't in a computer engineering major, but this program is for anyone who's interested in using technology for good. And the way that the program works is that you get all sorts of resources and benefits from Microsoft. You get to connect with Microsoft employees and MVPs and cloud advocates like Carlotta and the program team like me. And you get all sorts of training, ways to skill yourself, ways to learn for yourself so that you can help the communities around you also learn and be an ambassador for Microsoft and for our technologies. And so there are lots of different ways that you can do that I'll explain in a little bit more detail in a second. But the main ideas are that you can help host events, and we give you all of the resources you need to be able to do that. Or you can participate in projects, and you can help create content with us. You can help again, get that real world experience to put it on your resume. And it's also an amazing leadership opportunity. So there are so many different things you can do within this community. I like to say that it's really, you get out of this community what you put into it, and there's a space for everyone. And like the video said, diversity and inclusion is really important to us, and that is a definitely a topic you can see us talk about often, and I'm sure our ambassadors on the call will also attest to that and share their experiences with that as well. And so why you might want to join, again, you get to connect with students literally all over the world. You get to connect with Microsoft employees. There are opportunities for peer mentorship and also mentorship from Microsoft employees. You get free Azure credits, you get certification exams, you get access to LinkedIn Learning, to Visual Studio Enterprise, you get physical Microsoft swag like the t-shirts that all the ambassadors were wearing in that video, plus a lot more. Those are just the basics of what we are giving out in the program right now, but we have special events and special opportunities running every single month from within Microsoft across the entire company. There are tons of people across the company who are really interested to hear what students have to think and what they have to say and what they're interested in. And so there's a lot of opportunities to give feedback on Microsoft products. There's a lot of opportunities to get inside information on our newest developments. And there's all sorts of really exciting things that you can get involved with that change from month to month. So there's always something going on around the world, which I think is really exciting. And so the way that the program is structured is what we call our different milestones. And so each of these columns that you see here is a different milestone within the program. And basically what that means is the more you start as a new ambassador, and in order to unlock more benefits, there are certain things that you have to do to unlock them. So for example, the only thing that you have to do in order to become an Alpha ambassador is to complete a Microsoft Learn path. So that just means picking something on the Microsoft Learn platform that you're interested in and learning about it and completing a path. And so the whole program is based around learning and skilling. Any sort of Microsoft technology you can think of, there is something on Microsoft Learn about that. So it's really, you get to create your own adventure. And then as you become more involved in the program, you unlock more and more benefits. And I know that students are really busy, and we know that school and your courses come first. So we are really flexible with the timelines of these things. We know that you can't always be a student ambassador like you were a student first. And I know that myself from being an ambassador myself when I was in school. So I just want to say that it's very doable and you get so much out of it. And it's really, again, you get to choose the things that you want to be involved in and how you want to make an impact. And so the two student ambassadors we have on the call are at the gold level. So you can see all of the amazing things that they've done already to get to the spot that they're at and get an opportunity like this to talk in front of all of you. Okay, so one of the other ways that you can get involved in being an ambassador besides hosting events is to participate in our social impact leagues. And I'll just give a brief overview of what they look like, but it's another way if instead of hosting an event, you'd like to help create some content with us or help develop a new workshop, or would you like to collaborate on a project with other ambassadors and build something. And you could even use that to then participate in the Imagine Cup going forward. So there's a lot of different ways that we're looking at of ways that ambassadors can be involved in the community and use that to unlock more benefits. And if anyone has specific questions about that, happy to answer as well. But we do have lots of different ways for you to get involved. And then the last thing I wanted to say was how you can apply. It's just at studentambassadors.com, and you can apply at any time throughout the year, but we accept applications 4 times a year is when we onboard new cohorts of ambassadors. So if you would like to join the next cohort, which starts in April, the application deadline for that is at the end of this month, February 28th. So as long as you apply before February 28th, we'll review your applications in March, and you would start in April if you're accepted. And the application process is pretty straightforward. You just apply online and you answer a few questions about yourself. And one of those answers will be in video format. And you'll answer things like, tell me about a time where you helped someone learn a new topic and how did you do that? Or tell me about a time where you helped make an event more inclusive, or things like that. So it's a pretty straightforward application process, and yeah, you can read all about it and learn more at studentambassadors.com. And again, if you apply before the end of this month, you'll be accepted, or you'll be at least eligible for the April cohort. If you apply beyond that, you'll just start later, but that's also totally fine. You can apply whenever you'd like. So that was it from me. I'll open it up to questions. I don't see any questions in the chat, but if there are any questions in the room, would love to answer them. Right.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Amar Khan, and I'm a last year student in ICT faculty. And my question is that for how many, let's say, for what period the ambassador will chosen in period ambassador?
So I think your question is like how long you can be an ambassador for? Yeah, so to be an ambassador, you have to be at least 6 months away from your graduation date. So you have to be a current student, basically, to be a student ambassador. So if your graduation is within 6 months, we unfortunately can't accept you into the student ambassador program. But there is the MVP program that will have one of the MVPs live talking to you all, who can explain more about that process. And that's a program that any professional can join. So after you graduate, that's another opportunity for you as well.
Okay,
Does that answer your question?
Second question about the Imagine Cup.
Yeah,
I have so many projects at the moment, and which point the important when I'm preparing my project in this event, for this event?
That's a great question. So we have a lot of resources. We have a whole GitHub repository around the history of the Imagine Cup, about how you can build a good team, what we look for in a project, how you can incorporate technology, different technologies into your project. So that resource is definitely the best place to go to learn more about how to choose your project and also how to make it the best possible project that you can. But sorry, excuse me. All of that plus the Imagine Cup Discord are great resources for you to connect with other people and brainstorm and think of different projects. So when you register at imaginecup.com and you create an account, it'll send you all of the information for where to find that GitHub repository, the Imagine Cup Discord, and how to connect with us if you have any more questions as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you for the questions. If anyone else has a question? Okay, I have one more question. In order to apply for the Imagine Cup, so students must pay attention to the most. Can you tell us the most important points that students must pay attention when they are applying for the Imagine Cup?
Yeah. So you just have to be an enrolled student, which all of you seem to be, and you just have to apply online at imaginecup.com. And the competition for this year, the submissions for projects are closed, but they will open again in the fall for the 2024 competition. So just keep in mind any projects that you've been working on, any projects that you think could use a Microsoft technology if it's not already. And that would be a great idea to keep in mind for when you're thinking of projects to submit for Imagine Cup.
Sorry, can you tell about the stages in this Imagine Cup actually? How many stages we have, like, and what is the main criteria to know who is the winner or not?
Yeah, so I'm just to make sure I heard you right, you're asking about the different stages of the competition in Imagine Cup? Yeah. Okay, so when you register for Imagine Cup and you register for a specific competition, which will open a little bit later in the summer, you'll see a full timeline of the different competition deadlines and dates. And so as long as you register online, you'll get updates about all of those important dates. And it depends from region to region what those dates look like. But in general, submissions for projects open around October-ish, and we run a part of the competition called the Epic Challenge, which is basically a way for you to just submit a project proposal and to get early feedback. And that runs around October. It's completely optional, but that's just a way for you to get some extra feedback. And then normally a region's submission deadline is around the end of January. And then from there, we go into the national finals, which happen in the next couple months. And then there's a world championship that happens around April. And I don't know what it's going to look like yet for next year, but we present the winners of those projects at Microsoft Build. And again, the winners of the World Championship win $100,000 in a mentoring session with Satya Nadella, the Microsoft CEO. So those are the general timelines for what Imagine Cup looks like year to year. But again, I don't know exactly what those will be for next year, but those are the general ones. And as long as you register at imaginecup.com, you'll get all the notifications for all of those dates when we do have them.
Thank you for the answer. Any question? Okay, one question.
Is it eligible for students who graduated in 2022 by bachelor's degree?
So is it eligible for students who already graduated in 2022?
No.
To apply?
No.
Neither to invest.
Yeah, to be a student ambassador or to participate in Imagine Cup, you do have to be a current student. But like I said earlier, the MVP program is something that you can get involved with after graduation. And I'm sure our MVP guest will be able to talk more about that as well.
Thank you for the answers. I think we don't have questions in the audience.
Great. We have a question from the chat, Tessa. So how can I join as simple student, not as an ambassador? I'm not sure I got the question, but I think it's a great opportunity to clarify that you can join the Magic Cup without being a student ambassador, right? Can you just clarify that, please?
Yeah. So they're two completely separate programs. You can be a student ambassador, or you can participate in a Magic Cup, or you can do both. We have a lot of students that do both as well, but they're two separate programs with two separate registration/application processes. But if you're interested in just learning more about Microsoft technologies and learning more about how you can get involved in other ways or other events, that's definitely something Carlotta is going to cover in her section. You don't have to be an ambassador to learn about Microsoft technologies and to get involved and to grow your skills. But it is a great resource and opportunity to do that if you're able to.
Great. So if we don't have any other question, I think we can go to the next section.
Sounds good.
And I will try to share my screen again. Let's see. So yeah, can you confirm if you can see my face and my screen now? Like the opportunities for students deck? Great, cool.
Yep.
Perfect, thank you. Great, so thanks a lot, Tessa, for your overview of the Magic Cup program and the Student Ambassador program. As she just mentioned it, I would like now to talk to you more generally about opportunities for students if you are an ambassador, but also if you are not an ambassador or not yet. But before digging into the next topic, let me just do a step back, because when I introduced myself, I mentioned my role, which is Cloud Developer Advocate. Maybe few of you already heard this role name, that if I thought at my younger self when I was a student at university at Politecnico di Torino, I definitely believe that if someone had introduced herself to me like that, I would certainly have needed more information and more clarifications. So here we are. In this deck, I summarized the developer advocate roles in three main goals, three main milestones. First of all, the first goal is inspiring and scaling the next generation of developers like you. So this includes university students, but also any developer or business professional who is getting started into a new technology. Imagine someone who is experienced, for example, in .NET development, but who is just getting started in machine learning. This person is absolutely like in our target when we think about our audience by developing new content or hosting an event. The second main goal is listening to customers' voice and converting feedback into product or documentation improvements and announcements. And this means not only listening to customer voices, but give voice to customers and make the most from their feedback. So we welcome every kind of feedback, of course, not only good feedback. We want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly, because bad feedback make us improve. So we definitely welcome any kind of feedback. And how we do that? By interfacing developers and student communities, interacting with faculties, running events like the one we are running today, and more. And the third milestone is engaging the community, the Microsoft communities, and fostering an inclusive learning environment. So Tessa talked to you about two main communities for students, the Student Ambassadors community and the Magic Cup community. Our goal is to provide to those people in the community a frictionless and inclusive environment to learn, to grow with their peers, to connect with Microsoft folks. And of course, these are just 2 Microsoft communities. There are more. And another one we mentioned today, and we also have a guest who is member of this community, which is awesome, is the MVP community, the Microsoft Available Professional community. So we, as a cloud advocate, our team really work closely with all of these people. And I'm not telling you all of these only because this is my job and I want you to know who is speaking with you today. I'm telling you these because Microsoft Learn student ambassadors that wants to be active in the community, wants to grow with from a milestone to another, actually share similar responsibilities with my team, with the Cloud Advocates team. So inspiring their peers, listening to their peers' feedbacks, or sharing their feedback as well, and engaging into the community. And also because my team and myself closely work with the student ambassador community to reach the largest number of students, also those students that we wouldn't be able to reach without their help across the globe, and have a greater impact, of course. So what I'm trying to tell you, and let me go to the next slide. What I'm trying to tell you is that as a student ambassador, if you will be joining the program, as you progress in your journey in the community, you might have the opportunity to collaborate with my team on projects and on the technologies you are more interested and more passionate about. And in this deck, I've put a pair of examples of experiences I personally had throughout last year. The first one, in the left side, I co-hosted a few sessions about machine learning fundamentals, R language, and the Tidyverse framework, a data science framework with R. And I did that with few student ambassadors who co-hosted the event with me. And also the content the session was based on was a learning path available on the Microsoft Learn platform, which also Tessa mentioned. The Microsoft Learn platform is basically the main learning platform that Microsoft offer to learners, to developers across the globe. And so the content of those sessions were based on a Microsoft learning path that I co-authored with a Gold Microsoft Student Ambassador. So there's tons of possibility to host sessions, to co-host sessions with Cloud Advocates, to co-create content with Cloud Advocates around the topics you are most interested in. And another example I want to tell you today is the collaboration with a few ambassadors on another program, which is called 30 Days of Learning Data Science, and feel free to search it on the web if you are interested. This was a 4-week challenge focused on skilling people on machine learning, Python language, and Azure machine learning. And we have done that by providing free resources, free sessions, and also project assignments. And ambassadors helped us throughout this program in tailoring the content to their peers, also co-hosting or moderating the sessions, and promoting the program on social media and in the students' communities. And those are just two examples of a daily collaboration with the awesome Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors community. And I personally feel always very inspired and excited to collaborate with them. And another thing I want to tell you is that I mentioned here 2 examples of collaboration on projects which are related to AI and machine learning, but this is just because this is my main domain of interest. But I mean, there's possibilities to contribute and collaborate to projects which are not related to AI, which are related to other topics that you might be interested in, like, I don't know, low-code development or application development. So really lots of lots of opportunities. Cool. So at this point, you may be wondering, okay, there's tons of opportunities for people who get accepted in the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador program. This program is great, but what's in for us? So we are not ambassadors, at least we are not ambassadors yet. So is there any benefit for us? And the short answer is yes. But let me explain more what's in for you and what you can benefit from as a university student. So first thing first, if you don't know it yet, there's lots of free learning resources for you. Whether you want to do data analysis with R or training a machine learning model with Python, whether you want to learn more about .NET Framework, for example, or about other Microsoft technologies, Azure services, you can rely on thousands of learning paths on the Microsoft Learn platform. Again, this is a multimodal platform, let me say. So you can choose between written content, video series, guided tutorials, and also quizzes to test your knowledge and learning in a way that you can learn at your own pace and with the tools you might find more useful. But since Microsoft Learn platform is quite huge, I do encourage you to use as a starting point our student hub, which is part of Microsoft Learn. And in this web page, let me say, in the student hub, you can find recommended content for students according to your interests or the career path you would like to pursue. And it's also useful to stay up to date with what's going on in Microsoft for students, like upcoming Microsoft events, and don't miss any upcoming opportunities like the next Student Ambassador cohort or the next competition, Imaging Cup competition. So this is about free learning resources that you can benefit from. Now, let me talk a little bit about another benefit you have as a student, which is an Azure trial with $100 credits per year, no credit card required during the subscription process, and free Azure services, a set of free Azure services. Now, if you don't know what Azure is, don't worry, it's totally fine. And even if it's not the focus of today's presentation, let me just briefly clarify that Azure is the Microsoft Cloud Platform. And the cloud, in a nutshell, is a delivery of computing services over the internet, including storage type of services, networking, software, analytics, and intelligence. And to put it in simpler terms, cloud computing is a way to rent compute power and storage from someone else's data centers, in this case, Microsoft data centers. And you can treat cloud resources like you will treat resources in your own data center, but when you are done using them, you give them back. And you are billed only for what you use. So when you hear, for example, about, maybe you heard about the term cloud migration. This is the process of moving existing applications to virtual machines running on the cloud. And nowadays, there's lots of industries which are in this process right now, in the process of migrating their applications and their data to the cloud. Cool. So second thing to remember is the opportunity to benefit from this free Azure grant. And again, the starting point to learn more about Azure and what you can do with Azure is, again, Microsoft Learn. But I also encourage you to sign up for the trial using this link in the deck, aka.ms/A4S. Do a tour on the Azure portal, which is the graphical an intuitive graphical user interface to help you create resources, manage resources, consume them, and then also delete them. And also in the Azure portal, if you search for the Education Blade, you will also find popular solutions, popular tutorial to get started with building solutions on the cloud, on Azure. Cool. So before concluding and opening again to questions, I will pause again for collecting some questions, but I wanted to give you a heads up of an upcoming Microsoft Global event for students. And this is the Microsoft Student Summit, an opportunity to learn about the latest technologies, networking with Microsoft employees, and also community members. For example, Jennifer, the Microsoft Student Ambassador that will join the call later, she will be on the event as well. And also getting tips about your career development journey. So I encourage you to join the event. It's digital, it's free, and the summit is held in 7 different regions across the globe. And the closest one to you, I believe, is EMEA. EMEA is a region including Europe, Middle East, and Africa, so should be the best one for your time zone. So for the EMEA region, the event will take place on the 21st of March. It's completely digital and free, as I said. And to register, you just need to go to aka.ms/student summit. And you can register and then join the event on the 21st of March. Great. So this is it for me again. Those are my, if you want to connect with me, those are my my contacts. And finally, I'll open it again to questions. And I will start with questions from the room, if any.
So anybody of you have questions? Okay, go.
Cool. I just want to ask, may Microsoft Ambassador students have an opportunity to pass certificates like data engineering, maybe DevOps, something like this, and specialized certificates of Microsoft? As you know, in Google, they have like similar certificates that you pass, and you show that you are specialized in this area. For example, you have this one for data engineers, something like this. And I think Microsoft can also for Azure. And can, like, it is free for student ambassadors or not?
I want to clarify his question because he's a little bit further. So he's asking if the student ambassador has any benefits regarding getting the certificates, like data engineer certificate or Azure certificates from Microsoft, like grant certificates.
Great. So thanks for the question. So Tessa, please jump in and correct me if I'm wrong, but fundamental certification, like for example, Azure Fundamentals or Azure AI Fundamentals, those certifications are free for all students, not only ambassadors. And if you go to the Student Hub, let me retrieve again the deck in a way that you have the link. So if you go here in the Student Hub, aka.ms/student-hub, here you will find also the list of the certification that are free for all students. So if you have an academic account, you can get free vouchers to fundamental certification. And for fundamental certification, I mean all the 900 level certification. So yeah, I'm sure that's one for Azure Fundamentals, one for AI, one for Power Platform. But again, if you go to this link, you have the full list. So this is a benefit for all students, not only student ambassadors.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, for student ambassadors specifically, we give you additional certification vouchers. So if there are other certifications you'd like to get, there are additional resources that are exclusive to student ambassadors. And we also, like, for example, right now we're running a student trainer opportunity for student ambassadors to also get trained to train other people on these different certification exams. So there's people from the certifications team who are interested in having students skilled on training others. So there are always different opportunities like that as well through the student ambassador program. But yeah, like Carlotta said, the basic ones are free for all students.
Thank you, Tessa.
Thanks.
Any questions?
How many ambassadors can be chosen from a single university?
How many ambassadors can apply from a single university and can be chosen at the same time?
Yeah, I can answer that. So we don't have any hard limits on how many ambassadors can be from one university. We have, for example, in some universities in India, like above 20 ambassadors per university. So we do try to make an effort to see where ambassadors are applying from, both geographically. We look at gender distribution. We look at all sorts of different ways to try to make our community as diverse and inclusive as possible. But I believe there are no current ambassadors from Uzbekistan right now. So any of you that are listening to this or in this room, please feel free to apply. Don't be discouraged if you hear of other people applying from your university. We need more people from your region, so please apply if you're interested.
One more question, okay?
Any employment advantages ambassador will have when he finishes or something? Employment advantages.
Is there any advantages when they're applying for jobs? For example, Microsoft.
Microsoft is that.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer that too. So we have actually a large part of our cloud advocate team that Carlotta is on were previous ambassadors. I was a previous ambassador myself as well. We have a group chat in our within our Microsoft teams of people that work full-time at Microsoft that have been student ambassadors, and there's above 50 of us in this group at this point, and I know that we're missing more. So there is no official like pipeline for a student ambassador or someone who participates in Imagine Cup to be hired by Microsoft. But what it does do is it gives you inside contacts and exposure to people that work at Microsoft, so you can build your network while you're still a student. And that's exactly what I did, actually. Like as a student ambassador myself, as a student, I was connected with Pablo Veramendi, who's our global program director, and like I mentioned earlier, I joined as a software engineer for my first 3 years at Microsoft. And I stayed in contact with Pablo, who was running the program when I was in school. And then this past summer, I reconnected with him, and now I work on his team, and he is my direct manager. So there are, it's not only these different Imagine Cup and Student Ambassador programs, they're not only a good way to start growing your network at Microsoft, but they're also both really amazing ways to make yourself stand out in an application and to skill yourself on Microsoft technologies. And those for sure will help you stand out from other people that are applying to Microsoft roles, as well as to any other full-time role that you're looking at. Having hands-on project experience, having leadership experience, having experience building communities and sharing resources and skilling others, those are all very marketable skills. And I know that because I helped hire some people on my previous team as well for software engineers. And those are all things that we looked at very closely. So again, I want to emphasize there is no like official pipeline for being hired at Microsoft full-time, but it definitely cannot hurt.
Yeah, and just to build upon what Tessa was saying, as an ambassador, you get a lot of opportunities to connect with Microsoft employees, in particular the team of cloud advocates, so my team, but not only. Sometimes you get to meet also to in some events, for example, some other Microsoft employees from product group, software engineer team, for example, and you can get, for example, one-to-one mentorship with Microsoft employees, and also with people in the MVP community. So I think that the advantage is, in general, not only to be eventually hired in Microsoft, but in general to be hired to get the job you are most interested in a big tech company or in any other company you could be interested, because you are going to build your own brand. You are going to fill in your CV with experiences like hands-on projects or events, for example. And plus, you are going to meet lots of people that will be in your network and will definitely help you throughout your career. So if you are active in the community, and I think that Jennifer and Kenji later can also share the experience on that.
Thank you.
And thanks for all those questions. They are really great. Thank you.
We have one more question.
I want to register student ambassador, but our country is not there.
He just tried to register to the studentambassador.com, but the Uzbekistan is not in the list of countries. Surprising.
That is very surprising, because I know we've had ambassadors from your country before. That is thank you for being so proactive and wanting to apply already. I will look into that right now for you.
Yeah, and thank you. This is exactly the kind of feedback we want to get. So thank you so much.
Could ask from here, or you can ask from there.
So, yeah. And one more question regarding the resources, right? So yes, I do acknowledge that my request could be somewhat rare, yeah, or maybe somewhat out of scope for the current presentation. Yet I was just curious about F#. Yeah, I know F# is not quite a popular language, but yeah, I was quite enthusiastic about it when I learned about it like a couple of months ago, and I was just interested whether how and in what ways could Microsoft aim at making it more popular, maybe among the masses, yeah, encouraging usage and improvements, enhancements to it in the community.
I didn't hear very well the question. Can you, Max John, can you repeat it for me, please?
Like a C#, like C# and F#. So let's move on.
Let's see. His question was about the language, programming language F#. So he was asking
how in what ways could Microsoft aim at encouraging people to use more or make it more popular?
In what ways Microsoft can encourage others to use those language more?
So how Microsoft encourage folks to use languages in the .NET framework like C# and F#? Is that the question?
His question was specifically about F#.
Specifically about F#?
Yeah, F.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, but I wasn't hearing well. Actually, to be honest, F# is not in my domain of expertise, so it's not one of those languages I usually create content on or advocate for. But I mean, in general, machine learning and AI are big topic for Microsoft. So everything which is related to those area, and F# is one of the languages used by data scientists, is of course of interest for the company. And there are the way it works is that there are like different advocates, and we are not only divided for audience, like cloud advocates who are more focused on university students or beginner learners, and advocates who are more who like develop content more targeted or focused on professional or business developers. But we are also like split in terms of domain and technologies area, but we are in some way also flexible to choose then in which kind of specific technologies and languages we want to are more in our domain of expertise, and we want to advocate for and create more content about. But for example, you can find learning resources about F# on Microsoft Learn. So this is the first way I can think of. I mean, generally speaking, to advocate for a certain language, what we do is develop content. So open source content that could be curricula on GitHub, or Microsoft Learn learning path on the Microsoft Learn platform, or hosting events in which we do demos with a specific language. In case of F#, for example, it's usually included in events around .NET framework, being in that family of languages. So these are some examples of ways we do to of tools we use to advocate for a specific language or share more learning resources about a specific language or technology. Hope I answered your question.
Answer. If you don't mind, I have one question related to the free credits of Azure.
Yeah, please.
So, in order to be eligible for the free credit of Azure, do they have to register it as an academic account?
Yes, exactly.
So,
yes.
In order to do that, is there the list of eligible universities, or it is just free, like any university can register?
So any students from any university can register, but if by applying you find any problem, if your account is not verified, please contact me, because we can like fix that. We can update the list of eligible universities, but in theory, any students from any university can apply. The only requirement is that the student has a valid academic account. This is the only requirement, because this is the way we use to validate the account and really certify that the student is a student.
Thank you. We don't have other questions from audience.
So I have a question for you. Did any one of you already try to subscribe for this free Azure grant, and how
Yes, I'll try to do that, giving it to students, because we have a course of Internet of Things, and I wanted to use Azure IoT platform for students. But I couldn't get to the verification point, because I think our university, Turin Polytechnic University, was not. Maybe I made some mistake, but it was not eligible. When I tried.
Yeah, and please share with me the steps you followed, and please reach out. I want to follow up on this.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. So I cannot see any question from the chat. So if we don't have any other question in the room, I would give the floor now to Jennifer.
So sorry, we have one more question.
Okay, cool.
They choose students. GPA should be good or
when applying to investor programs. So he's asking, do they consider the GPA of students when they apply to investment program? Like
No.
The average score when they got from exams?
No, we do not look at that as part of the application.
All right. Welcome.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to send now to put Jennifer camera on. So let me see. Send. In a few seconds, you should be able to see Jennifer. Sorry for the delay.
Can I be seen and heard?
We can hear you, but I'm not sure if people can see you. People in the room can see you?
Yes, we can see her camera, but slides. Only the slide.
Only the slide? Okay, so let me retry. Okay, cool. Can you see both the deck and Jennifer now?
Yeah, no, it's
perfect. So back to you, Jennifer.
Okay. So I think the plan is Kenji and I will both introduce ourselves, and then we each have a little bit to talk about our experiences so far in the program. So my name's Jennifer. I'm from Scotland. I'm a third-year student right now. I'm studying cybersecurity and digital forensics in Glasgow, and I'm a gold ambassador now. Kenji, are you going to introduce yourself just now?
Yeah. Can I be heard?
I can hear you.
All right. So yeah, a little bit about me. I'm Kenji. I'm also based in the UK. I'm a third-year computer science student from the University of Manchester. And yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Carlotta, could you move the slide on, please? Thanks. Okay, so I'm a gold ambassador now. I joined the program back in October of 2021, so I've been in the program for over a year now. When I first joined the program, I was really nervous because there's like you join and there's so much to do, but there's a really well-structured pathway that shows how you should progress. And one of the first things I did in the program was a social impact project. So they were mentioned earlier, but that's where ambassadors work in teams to try and create something to help with one of the 4 social impact leagues. So those are digital accessibility, healthcare, green tech, and education. So when I did this, I was working with a team of 3 other ambassadors from India, and we were working in the education category. I really enjoyed it. It was really interesting getting to work with students from a different part of the world. I would have never had the chance to otherwise. Even though we did have a few issues with time zones, trying to get meetings set up in between, university and exams and everything else we had going on. Sometimes it was a bit difficult, but we did get them all done. We did our project and we ended up presenting our project, and it was overall a really rewarding experience, and it really kind of broke the ice for me and got me talking to other ambassadors, and I found it a really rewarding experience. So as well as collaborating within the ambassador community, something else that's really important as an ambassador is growing your local community as well. And I've been doing that by working with a local girls' youth group in my village. I'm really passionate about getting young girls into cyber and tech in general. So it was really great to work with them. Those are the photos that I have on the slide there, is me with them, teaching them. I did 4 different talks with them over the course of a few months on topics like cybersecurity basics, artificial intelligence, ethical hacking, and some other cool stuff as well. They were a really great bunch. I really enjoyed working with them. They always had so many interesting questions for me. One of the things I enjoy about being inside the Ambassador Programme is how involved all the community programme managers and the cloud advocates are with us. So every month we have a community call to discuss important programme updates and chat about exciting things that are happening. And no ambassador is ever overlooked on these calls. If you have any questions, they'll always be answered. And sometimes I've even, like in these calls, put something in the chat, and then a few minutes later, someone, like one of the community programme managers, has seen it and then invited me to come on the microphone and just talk about it. And that's always a bit scary. And Jennifer, come on the microphone and talk. And it's like, okay, I will. But it's always great. You always feel so involved. And getting involved like that leads to, you know, great opportunities like this one. I would never have had the chance to come on and talk to all of you today if I hadn't, you know, been putting myself out there and getting involved. Could you move the slide on, please? Thanks. So another opportunity I was very lucky to get was last October. I was invited to host a panel during the EMEA Microsoft Student Summit. This panel was actually centred around the Imagine Cup, and I was interviewing some previous winners, including one of the 2022 World Champions. So you can imagine how nervous I was going into it, but it ended up going really well. And as was mentioned earlier, the next one is in March, and I'm very excited to say that I've been invited to co-host the next EMEA Student Summit with Liam, who's one of the other cloud advocates. You can see him on the picture there on the slide. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I hope that a lot of you will be there as well. I also recently hosted a Cloud Skills Challenge. So Cloud Skills Challenges are sets of modules on the Microsoft Learn website that follow a certain topic. So the one that I did was based around artificial intelligence and machine learning basics. And it was really fun to host this because you can see everyone competing in the leaderboard. And I got it sent out around my university department as well, so I could see some names popping up that I recognised from my university. And of course, learning the content myself was really fun too. I'm really interested in artificial intelligence. I think it's really cool. So overall, that was a really fun thing to do. And through all these events, the main thing I've taken away from the Ambassador Programme is confidence. If you'd said to me a year ago that I was going to go on a call like this and talk to so many other students, I just wouldn't have believed you. And I've been able to take this confidence I've gained and apply it to university as well. I feel so much more confident in my classes now. And I've been doing some talks at my university as well for like open days and when we have high schools come in to visit. So all the support we get in the programme and all the different opportunities have really boosted my confidence. And I guess I'll finish up just by saying I really would recommend everyone to apply to the programme. I certainly don't regret it. And if you put in some effort, you will get so much back from the programme. And I'll now hand you over to Kenji.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you. Yeah, let me just pull in Kenji. And let us know when you can see Kenji. I think you are live, Kenji. So I think people in the room can see you. Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, I guess like a lot of my experience is also very similar to what Jennifer has said. But let me just like focus more on like my experience and what I've gotten from this program. So the biggest and most important benefit that I've gotten is just the technological exposure that I've managed to gain from like just doing and taking part in a lot of these Microsoft activities. Yeah, because my biggest struggle from being a university student is that the tech space is it's just so hard to navigate nowadays. It's growing every day. There's a bunch of new technologies coming out. There's new frameworks, new tools and technologies that it's just so hard to really like I guess keep up to date with. Before I joined this program, I primarily just focused on my studies in university, but I felt like a lot of stuff that I was learning was kind of too theoretical, and it's not very up to date as well because I couldn't really apply it to industry. For example, we have very limited exposure to newer technologies like the cloud, for example. But it is such a useful thing to know about nowadays that it makes no sense to not learn about it or even like get exposed about it. So because of that, I joined a lot of the programs to gain like to keep up to industry. I mean to keep up with industry because I thought it would be very useful for my career. And that ended up with me doing a bunch of Microsoft Learn cloud skills challenges, like the 30 days of developer challenges. And also I ended up taking a bunch of Microsoft exams, and I can say that they are very worth it and they really pay off. And when it comes to putting these skills to practice, there are also a lot of programs for this as well. You can take advantage of the free cloud credits for Microsoft Azure that was in the slides earlier. And also there's this other thing called the GitHub Student Developer Pack, which comes with a bunch of tools to help you get started with building your own projects. And when you want to put it into practice, you can also join, like mentioned in the slides earlier, there's the Social Impact Project and also the Imagine Cup project, which lets you build a project that you want. And during my time here, I've joined both of these projects, and I can really say that they're really paid off exponentially. I've been able to pick up a ton of different development skills and really get my hands busy with different technologies like cloud, AI, databases, and build end-to-end solutions. And doing all of this extra learning and building has really paid off exponentially, because knowing this extra knowledge not only helped me upskill myself to help me with my courseworks in university, it also helped me get a job. It helped me perform better in my job as a software engineer. And yeah, it just gave me the skills overall to bring my ideas to life. And something that I really didn't expect from this program was to find out that I had a lot of fun doing talks and teaching others about technology. Because from the programs, you get a ton of different opportunities to run workshops, like you can see in the photos inside of the slides. You can do online workshops, in-person talks, and also the student summit sessions. And I got to do a bunch of them, and yeah, I got a lot out of it. When I did my first presentation, I had to learn about how to research for content, building slides. I had to learn how to market the event, and also learn how to give the presentation itself. There's a lot of skills that you don't really expect to learn from joining this program, and having these skills really do pay off because they are very transferable in every other activities that you use. For example, in my job, it helped me present my ideas better. It helped me share my ideas with my coworkers, and overall, it has been a very positive impact on my life so far. And besides that, I really appreciate that the program also gives a lot of ownership for you to work on as a student ambassador that you could never imagine doing as a student. The program is constantly evolving to find ways to include students in the bigger scheme of things. Recently, they've added a lot more opportunities for students to get involved in, like the Windows Insider program, where you are able to test out the newest features of the Windows, of Windows, and also the recent technical trainer program, where students get to train and teach their peers on getting the Microsoft Cloud certification exams. And yeah, that's my main highlights to share about being a Microsoft student ambassador. Thank you for listening to my experience. And my advice for all of you is to try to take part in all of this if possible, even though you may be really busy with your courseworks and your university activities. These Microsoft activities do really pay off exponentially. You get to build your network, build your brand. You get to gain skills that put you, I guess, they give you an edge above everyone else. And yeah, I hope you guys get involved more in the program.
Thank you so much, Kenji. Thank you for sharing. I know that we don't have a lot of time, and we have another guest, but maybe we can take one question for Jennifer or Kenji from the room, if any.
Just for Jennifer. I have one question. So, to Kenji and Jennifer, what was the most challenging thing you've done during your ambassador programs? What did you find the most challenging?
Well, I can go first, and I guess for me, it really is like doing this kind of presentations and giving talks, because before this, I was more of a, I guess, introverted person, more quiet, and I didn't really have the confidence. So trying to put myself out there was a really big stepping stone for me, and it was really challenging because like in talks, you not only have to understand like topic very well to be able to present it, but also like when giving the talk itself, you need to like have confidence and like maintain your body language and all that stuff. So that was a really different thing that I had to learn, but it was really like interesting to get involved in.
I think I would say actually a really similar answer is just having the most difficult part for me, I think, was just having the confidence to push myself and start doing these things. I was so nervous when I joined. I'm very introverted as well. So, you know, having the confidence to push myself, and then when I started to, you know, have people maybe know my name a little bit, I've hosted some events and people start coming to me saying like this, like me and Kenji both got contacted for this and asked, do you want to come and do this event? And it's really nerve-wracking to be contacted for these kinds of things, and then to say, yes, I will, I'll come and talk. It takes a lot for me to do that kind of thing. So I think that's probably the most difficult part for me, is pushing myself to try new things and build my confidence.
Thank you very much, in a way, because I think many engineers are also introverts, so they need to learn to present. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you. So do we want to give the floor to the last guest?
Yes, I'd like to talk to. Can I share his presentation?
Yeah. Sure, please do it. Yeah, just a moment, and you should be able to see both the deck in the room. Yes.
Hello, everyone. Has been 2 hours, and you might be tired. I'll try to be quick. So my name is Edwin, .NET expert and a Microsoft MVP. And thanks for having me today. I'd like to talk about the 3 important concepts today. I know you are in the verge of beginning your work in the future. And this work can be categorized into 3 things. So as how you perceive it. So you can perceive your work, daily work, I mean, as jobs or careers or crafts. So let's identify the differences between these categories and yeah. So basically, these are the insights that I got from one-to-one mentorship sessions for my mentor, who is Microsoft engineer, senior Microsoft engineer, and yeah, I'd like to share it with you all. So let's start with. Okay, it's working now. I can go. So the first category is of working people are jobbists, or the people who consider their work as, you know, jobs. They are the people who are mainly are not very planning to work on the thing for a lot of time. They try to put the least amount of effort to just not get fired. And those are the people who are try to be visible when the boss is around and leave the office, for example, as soon as the boss leaves. This is the attitude of a jobbist person. Those people sometimes stay for longer and become managers themselves. And those people, whenever they are managers, be careful. They are very afraid of the new ideas. They consider new as a threat. They don't want to learn themselves. And when they reach the managerial position, they don't want a newly hired junior engineer to bring a new technology. For example, they might be using a very old server in that project, and you're young. You for example, you have become a student ambassador and you learned Azure, and now you want to everything to put into practice, and then you say that, okay, I know Azure, we can migrate to Azure, and what the jobbist person does, they cancel it. So be careful of that. Whenever you are in such environment, just analyze what's going on. If the person has such attitude, just try to get rid of such people around you. And don't be the jobbist yourself. You're not the brains for hire. You should be more than that. And what's more than just a jobbist person? Okay, can you go to the next, please? The higher category in this hierarchy is the careerists. Careerist people are very smart. They are focused. They are intentional. They wake up in the morning. They look at the mirror and say, "Okay, today is my day. I'll make a change to the world, and I'll put a dent in the universe today." That's how they motivate themselves. They are very career-oriented people, and in some businesses, this actually is very motivated. So they might say career-oriented or coachable person, and managers might look up for such people. However, there are some problems with careerists as well. One of the examples is they always look up. For example, if a careerist person is talking to you, and if you are his manager and you have the power to promote him, he'll be kind to you. He'll try to be good to you. However, if that careerist person is a middle software engineer in the project and they have a new intern, for example, that person doesn't care because there is no benefit from that intern for the careerist. You know. However, he might pay attention to the intern or junior engineer when there is value for his career, because if he does so, the managers there will be more visibility from the managerial team. And you know what's also problematic about careerist people? is that they consider everything as a war. Today is a competition day. Today is a war. I gotta do it. So there is such attitude. We talked about their attitude towards managerial people, managers. They are very kind to them and careless towards the newly hired ones. And when it comes to their peers, to the people in their same level, they regard them as a competitors. And as soon as some opportunity arises, they are willing to throw them under the bus and don't forget about them, because it increases their possibility to get promotion, to get new fancy title, and so on. The final stage of this career is, the next step would be the craftsman. And that's what I encourage you to do. The person who considers his work, in our case, software engineering, as a craft, will have to be someone who is passionate, patient, and loving. So, for example, you get hired soon, and in 3 or 4 years, you become middle or senior engineers. And then you should start caring about people, loving them. For example, in the case of our teams, you should care about the junior engineers, the newly hired interns. You should ask them every while and then, is everything okay? Aren't you struggling? Or if you have any questions, you can ask, or as Jennifer said, we can hop on in a call and you can ask anything. So that would be the true quality of a craftsman. Another thing would be persistency. A true craftsman will keep doing the good work even if it's not seen or it doesn't bring visibility from the managerial. He should be persistent in doing, for example, in our software engineering, sometimes teams, project, you are not, for example, encouraged to write unit tests. However, if you consider your work as a true craft, you keep writing, for example, unit tests every now and then, persistently, because it brings overall value to the team, even if it's not motivated by managers. And another important aspect that a true craftsman should have is the knowledge. When you are doing something, for example, building an app, you should have the knowledge of ASP.NET, Azure, SQL Server, and stuff like that. You should have the technical expertise as long as those soft skills that I have mentioned before. And you can, alternate the word knowledge with wisdom and anything you want. And what I like to highlight is Microsoft is always in the search of unknown geniuses through programs like student ambassadors, and Microsoft MVP, and there are actually a lot of programs like that. And that's a very good aspect of Microsoft that I really appreciate and love about. So yeah, that's insight that I have learned when I was one-to-one pairing section with Microsoft engineers. So thanks for having me. If you have questions, please feel free to ask them.
I have a question. So I understand that you are a developer. Yeah?
Yes.
So you are developing applications.
Yes.
Yeah, and I have a question. What type of database use Microsoft? For example, I am an internship right now as an Android developer, using Python programming language, and I have a task where I need to have authorization and at the same time a lot of information. How I can save a lot of information and what type of database is better to use? for a huge amount of information. For example, Microsoft have really huge amount of information. What type of database they use?
So currently we have done a lot of projects, like you said, with our team as well. It's open source. You can go ahead and check our GitHub. So in those projects, we mainly use SQL Server, and apart from that, there are different other options as well you might want to consider depending on your complexity of your project. For example, you can use some NoSQL databases as well. So there are two options: SQL databases and NoSQL database. And based on your application context and business requirements, you can just use any of them. But as you're telling, there's a huge data influx. You should probably consider using SQL Server as yes.
SQL Server.
Yes.
That's all right.
Yes.
I have a question: how to become an MVP?
Yeah, sure. So become the craftsman first. That's what actually I was trying to tell. You can go search the internet how to become an MVP, and there's really good description in the Microsoft web pages. But there are some insights that I have shared now that led to directly me being as an MVP. So these are one of the factors that led me to be an MVP. So you should love your community. You should be passionate about technology. You should have very good communication and leadership skills, and probably you should be good at presenting yourself as well. So what you have done, because once you are nominated as an MVP, you will be given a form, and you have to count every contribution you have done so far, and it should be visible as well. I have, for example, my YouTube channel where I have more than 3,000 subscribers. I do a lot of tutorials in Uzbek language for my community. This has been one of the factors that led Microsoft team consider me my application. So yeah, just whatever you like. So if you like writing, just do some blogs, technical blogs. If you like YouTube and blogging, you just create a YouTube channel, or try to do something useful to everyone and every day. Once they see consistency, they'll reach out to you. Hey, we saw your contribution and it's great. You like to be an MVP. That's what it takes to be an MVP.
Thank you very much. Carlotta, we finished, I think, with if you have other. Carlotta, can you hear us?
Yeah. Thank you very much. So it was all for us as well. But please, let's stay in contact. Let's reach out if you have any issues in joining the find Microsoft Learning Resources, join the programs, or Azure for Students, anything you want to give a feedback to us too, or anything you need help with, please reach out. Let's stay in contact. And thank you so much for hosting this event on your campus today. It was great. I hope you enjoyed at least how much we enjoyed doing it. So thank you.
Keep in touch, and maybe this kind of presentation is not the only one this time, so it's kind of a lot of it later.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you.
Thank you, Tessa, as well. Participants, see you.
Yeah, thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.